Okay, students, in this video we're going to be looking at our next blueprint, which is a jump pad or launch pad or however you want to call it. Basically, it's going to be a platform that the player jumps on and it will force them up. For starters, as usual, we're going to go ahead and make a blueprint class actor. I'm going to call this one BP Launcher. And go ahead and open it as normal. Like with a lot of the blueprints we've been making lately, we're going to just add a static mesh. I'm going to use a cube. And I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a collision box. And I want to make it as close as I can match the size here of the platform. Something like this. Basically, we want the player to assume that it's because they collided with the box, even though we know it's because they went into this collision that's right above. If I want to make it really perfect, I can toggle off my scale snap there and stretch it out till it's right at the edges. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to switch the event graph. You can delete all these nodes to get them out of the way. Like last time, we could scroll down here to grab our events. You can actually right-click on a collision box and add an event for that box. And once again, we want add component begin overlap. I'm going to pull out of other actor and type character. And I'm just going to cast a character this time. So to affect any characters, this would work the same as casting directly to our third person character, but it should make sure that, any character that hits it. And if in the future we added enemies that used character, they'd be able to jump on the jump pad as well. So the specific node we're looking for is called launch character, as we can see here. And what this means is if somebody touches it, we're going to launch character. It needs a target, so we need to make sure we are launching the character that touched it. And then here we have an X, Y, and a Z. You could launch in any direction, right? So Z is up, but you could also launch X or Y forward. And we're going to go ahead and choose split here, because eventually we're going to change some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a number here like 1500 for launch Z and hit compile and save. And then I'm going to put my little launcher at the end of this platform. Let's go ahead and start and see if it works. You can see as I walk in, I jump. But you may have noticed some interesting behavior here. As I come back down onto the platform, it seems like I don't jump as much. And if I jump when I'm on the platform, I get these inconsistent I get these like little bounces and then big bounces. So there's a reason for this. Basically, what this node is doing is it is adding Z velocity to our character. So if we are moving downwards, so if I am going down, I already have a negative velocity down. And when the Z velocity is added, they cancel out. So if I just walk into it, I have no Z velocity and I get a very big push upwards. But if I'm already going down, or for some reason, if I manage to hit a jump pad while I'm already going up, it will add to my velocity, or it will combine and subtract my velocity and end up at a lower number here. So the first way to fix this is this little checkbox right here, Z override. And what this says is it's going to replace the Z component of our velocity instead of adding to it. So it's not going to be an addition, it's just going to replace, which should give us consistent jumps from here on out. So you can see I'm getting the same height each time. So the other thing that is kind of annoying here is that if I wanted to have multiple jump heights, or if I want to make changes to it the way I can with many of my other blueprints, I have to change this number. And our actual upwards velocity is not a consistent number to think about because it is still fighting gravity. So a great way to fix this is get a reference to something we understand so that we as level designers can work with it easier. So from the cast a character, I'm going to pull off and I'm going to type character movement. We want this one here at the bottom, get character movement. So this is the movement component of our character that's jumping. Then from here, I'm going to type jump z. So we're going to get the jump z velocity. So this is basically one player's normal jump. And we could plug this in here, but then our jump pad would be just like pressing jump. So I'm going to pull off, put one more thing in here, which is multiply. And put that in here. I'm going to give it a default of 2 so that it's 2 character jumps amount. But what I'm actually going to do is right-click on this little node right here from my multiply. And I'm going to choose promote to variable. And this new variable I'm going to call like power. I'm going to compile. And I'm going to come down here to power, which we have set to 2. I'm going to turn this little eyeball on, which means it's going to make it public and editable in our blueprint and in the level. So we can give this a try, and I can jump here, and we get a nice sort of twice as high as normal jump. And if I copy this guy, I could have different ones. As we look over here on the right side, power, that variable we created, exists here. So I could make this one on the left 4, and I could make this one on the left, say, 1.5. And if we tested these all, they would all give me different amounts of jump height. Of course, just like with all of our other blueprints, you can give these a specific material and color to customize them for yourself. And I'm excited to see what you do with your jump pads.